Behind you, the glistening skyline of Minneapolis. And only minutes away, St. Paul reminds you that you're leaving the threshold of the 21st century. Is it really possible? Can such a short journey take you back almost 100 years? To a time before Minnesota planted the seeds of statehood? And to one of the very places where a root of the statehood was to take firm hold. Only minutes later, you've reached the bluffs of the beautiful St. Croix River Valley. And now, you're entering Stillwater. Although this historic river town has changed somewhat over the years, Stillwater, like the nearby Twin Cities, appears reluctant to totally shed its pioneer heritage. The landmark bridge dating back to the mid-1800s, the quaint Main Street stores that still offer one of the most unique shopping experiences in the vicinity, the historic courthouse, those Victorian mansions on the hill. This is more like the turn of the last century, perhaps. Now, let's travel further back in time. You can still imagine freshly cut logs floating down the St. Croix to be gathered in by one of the mills that gave Stillwater its first reason to be before 1850. Although the Sawyer House no longer stands, Stillwater has preserved its tradition for luxury accommodations and fine dining. In 1870, the Stillwater and St. Paul Railroad, later acquired by the Great Northern Railroad, was built to serve this promising area. Is that the original Stillwater Depot? No. Although its architecture is similar, it's the Stillwater Depot built on the site of the old Northwest Thresher Building, and now home of the Minnesota Zephyr. One reason to extend your pleasure. Be sure to arrive early to enjoy your favorite beverage at the Depot Martini Bar. Or just choose gifts and souvenirs from the gift shop. Not taking your railroad journey today? Then you might consider gathering around the fireplace for private parties, weddings, banquets, and meetings. Wonderful place to get together. No parking problem here. The 170-space lot next to the depot even has plenty of room for buses. Also, inside, under the museum's 28-foot-high atrium, even more of Stillwater's colorful history, dating back to 1843 and before, virtually comes to life for you. This fascinating depot alone proves to be worth your early arrival to Stillwater. Here, historical relic displays and photographs vividly dramatize what life was once like here. What was it like riding a train back in the days when it was the preferred way to travel? You say you've never experienced it? Or that you experienced it and want to do so again? Hang on. You're about to get that chance. The Stillwater Depot is not only a must during every visit to this historic birthplace of Minnesota, it's also included as part of Stillwater's most memorable experience of all. Dinner against the background of the beautiful St. Croix Valley on the restored Minnesota Zephyr Railroad. Appetites in order? All aboard! The friendly Zephyr crew greets you as you board for your regularly scheduled dining journey at 11:30 a.m. and then at 6:30 p.m. daily. and the Zephyr crew will welcome you aboard for all other special trips and requested charters. The Minnesota Zephyr is powered by two 1951 diesel-electric locomotives, numbers 787 and 788, one at each end of the train. Everything out here is in good working order, and inside, everything looks wonderful. Each of the Zephyr's cars has its own unique ambiance, displaying a different design and color. And each table for four overlooks a large window for viewing all the beautiful scenery. Perhaps you'll begin with cocktails, or a selection from our list of fine wines as you wait for your journey to begin. Be sure to take time to explore the entire train. You'll love it. With 80 feet of glass, this one-of-a-kind Grand Dome was built in 1938 by Southern Pacific Railroad, refurbished in 1954 by Amtrak, and then completely refit by the Zephyr in 1987. A small additional charge entitles you to be included in the select group of 56 guests enjoying first cabin service in the Grand Dome's magnificent dining area. Beverages are served in the Zephyr's 3 full-service bars that cater to all patrons. At the opposite end of the train, the St. Croix Dome Club Car awaits your pleasure with seating for tables of 2 in the Dome when available. And the Northern Winds car is just one of 5 restored dining cars. The Zephyr offers gracious service for as many as 272 guests. Each car has a different seating capacity and is designed to accommodate groups of all sizes. Inside 3 modern onboard kitchens, expert Zephyr chefs prepare your cuisine, while friendly, courteous bartenders at all 3 bars, each fully stocked with only the best brands of liquors, wines, and liqueurs, do their part to get your journey off to a cheerful start. This has already been a memorable railroading experience, and the Zephyr hasn't even left the depot yet. But now, you're beginning to move. Your round-trip journey of 15 miles parallels the St. Croix River northward, then swings west through Dutchtown, along scenic Browns Creek. You experience a mountain-grade climb of over 250 feet. There's none higher. The Zephyr sets off on its scenic journeys the year round. And if the magnificent views from inside the train were a play, each of the seasons would be a uniquely different act. Act 1. The entire valley awakens to the fresh new life of spring. Act 2. Shrouded with lush, mature vegetation, it relaxes during those contented months of summer. Act 3. The valley goes on one last invigorating fling of the season by proudly displaying its kaleidoscope of brilliant fall colors. Act 4. It hibernates peacefully under the crisp sparkle and glimmer of its brilliant winter landscape. No wonder it's impossible to pick a favorite season. No wonder some patrons aren't satisfied until they've savored all 4 seasons as an enchanting background for their dinner aboard the Zephyr. And here's a most pleasant surprise: the Zephyr Cabaret. These engaging entertainers in period costumes stroll from car to car to delight guests with their renditions of the greatest hits of the 40s and 50s. For a small additional charge, groups can also add this unique attraction to their chartered Zephyr excursions. Did somebody say dinner? Here's the highlight of all Zephyr's highlights: prestige railroad dining like decades gone by. The dinner is truly gourmet. All 5 courses of it on white linen and the finest china, by candlelight. Served leisurely by design. And yes, the flowers are fresh. So what's on the menu today? That shrimp cocktail and those just-baked rolls are only the beginning. Our recipe for creamy chicken wild rice soup hasn't changed since it captivated those first Zephyr guests way back in 1986. The salad? It's been called out of this world. Sun-dried tomatoes, roasted pine nuts, feta cheese, basil, and only the crispiest lettuce, made even more special with the Zephyr's very own vinaigrette dressing. The Zephyr offers 4 main entrees. Today you're enjoying the chef's choice: grilled, seared, and then whole roasted tenderloin of beef, the very best. Or you may want to consider our fabulous prime rib, a tender, juicy, delicious, full pound of it. The overwhelming popularity of this spectacular entree has made us the #1 procurer of prime rib in the surrounding 5-state area. Perhaps you'd prefer the delicious, fresh-grilled North Atlantic salmon nestled in seasoned white rice, or the tender, moist rock game hen roasted to perfection, covered with our special orange glaze, and served with apple sage dressing and Minnesota long-grain wild rice. Room for no more, you say? Well, you can't seem to resist this delicate wedge of creamy chocolate New York-style cheesecake. A spectacle by day that continues to be exhilarating even after sundown. When the Zephyr's coach lights turn the night into day. This incomparable dining experience lasts for almost 3 hours of this memorable 4½ hour railroading experience. And you'll wish it would never end. Back at the depot, and soon back to a world that's about to enter the 21st century. Although now, you don't want it to be in such a hurry to do so. Well, when the pace of today's life becomes too hectic again, you can always return to Stillwater for another journey aboard the Minnesota Zephyr.